From the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, 102 degrees this afternoon. That was a record once again, beating the record of 100 back in 2011. Tomorrow's record, 102. Also set back in 2011. So looks like more record-breaking heat on the way. And let's get over to the calendar right here, and we'll show you what's going on. Well, I'll just walk over to the key wall. You can see that graphic right there. But we're looking at triple-digit heat every day this month, and I have the calendar going back to July just to see. It's been nothing but 100s with the exception of yesterday, and we're going to fill out the bulk of this graphic rather, with more 100-degree days. And this is it so far for the month on rain, and the rain chances as we look at Monday, Tuesday next week are going down. They're not going up with that tropical wave. So here's the big picture with respect to the drought status updated as today. We're in a severe to extreme drought. It continues to expand basically from southwest Louisiana on eastward. There's been good storms over the last couple of weeks over toward Mississippi, eastern Louisiana, so the drought not as bad there. But you go back farther to the west, you can see all of southeast Texas in the same bin as we have been. They've been setting similar records across the board all the way back through the hill country as well. As we look at the water vapor, the upper level pattern, high pressure, that's edging in. Dry air also moving in. Again, fire danger super high with this super hot and dry weather. Even though the humidity will begin to come up in the days ahead, it's still going to be a very high fire danger, at least over the next couple of weeks until we see rain. Few showers out in the Gulf, but that's where they're staying. We look at the big picture. We do have Hurricane Hillary out here now, major storm, 120 mile-an-hour winds. This one could go to 140 and is going to be heading up just along the west coast of Baja and eventually delivering some flooding rainfall possibly across Southern California, Nevada, maybe extreme western Arizona. So we'll be watching that. Meanwhile, as we get close to the beginning of the peak of hurricane season, we're starting to see disturbances now. They're not closer to the equator. Now they're getting above 10 degrees north. So now we're starting to see some bona fide tropical disturbances. And tonight, the National Hurricane Center monitoring 3 areas out in the Atlantic. One, a high chance of development here in the red, medium here on this system, and about a 20% chance for something to develop here. And then we do have another dot. That's for that tropical wave we were talking about. You saw the moisture earlier. That's going to be moving across the Gulf of Mexico, and the National Hurricane Center maintaining a 30% chance of development maybe early next week as that wave approaches the Texas coast. It may brush the Louisiana coast, but all the models are pushing that moisture farther and farther south away from us. So I've had to lower the rain chances for Monday and Tuesday. That means it's going to be hotter as well. We had a couple of upper 90s in there. So near term, very high and dry for us. You'll see Hillary right here on the western coast of Baja, and here's our tropical wave, and a bulk of the tropical wave stays south of us in the Gulf of Mexico, maybe broad low pressure. That's why the Hurricane Center is giving this about 30% chance of development. Then it moves away and high pressure moves back in, and it looks to get even hotter for the middle part of next week. Here we are as we plot up the tropical season by the months, and we are just about at the peak of Louisiana landfalls, and you can see how activity really begins to ramp up. So the only way we're going to change this big heat wave that we've been part of is we're going to wait on the tropics or cool fronts. They'll both be coming in September, one way or the other. Lower 70s overnight tonight, not as pleasant, but still not bad. Low to mid 70s, high 10 quarters. So still a relatively comfortable night and morning through tomorrow morning, but then tomorrow afternoon, that heat's going to be on 102 to 105, up to 106 perhaps in Leesville, and 102 to 103 across the I-10 corridor, and low 100s across the coast as well. And that heat index, that's going to be climbing back up. Today maxed out at 102, tomorrow 106 to 110, and then as we move into Friday into Saturday, we're going to see those heat indices pushing 115 plus. So back to the super high heat. Now, overnight tonight, mid 70s, a touch warmer, but still a relatively pleasant evening out there. Then for tomorrow, we'll go 103 for the high. Again, the record 102 set 12 years ago. And as we get into the weekend, all-time record for August is 104. We have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 potential days to do that, and we say that tropical wave stays to the south. So we just finished a 17-day run of 100-degree weather, and we got another at least 11-day run if you include today to go, and the previous record was 7 in 1 year. I looked at the stats over the last 40 years up until this year. 28 of those 40 years, we didn't even have one 100-degree day.
Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Hello.
We're making
Here
up
we are.
for old times.
Yes,
I guess.
we're showing the 21st. We're showing the 20th century. What's what? The 21st
That's right.
century, right?
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks.